But I think part of what makes comic book movies so great to me and like worth watching is the fact that they are part of this larger universe. And I think when like, as a society, I think we're past these kind of one-off movies that aren't part of a larger thing. And maybe they keep coming. Well, just listen. Like in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff, we had a bunch of these movies where you got like Daredevil or whatever. Yeah, like Elektra.
Are you specifically talking about comic book?
Green Hornet.
Yeah, Green Hornet.
Because there's like amazing movies that are just one-offs.
No, but comic book
Inception.
No.
V for Vendetta.
James, please.
You don't want a sequel.
How little do you think of me? I'm only talking about comic book movies. Like, if I'm gonna go watch one of these like superhero movies, it's
better culminate to something 20 movies from now.
It makes me it's a deterrent to me if I know that it doesn't really lead into anything.
That's so interesting.
Else.
I think I'm the opposite, where like the knowledge that there's so much else I'll have to watch to get it is so frustrating. I would way rather just be able to watch one movie and really enjoy it.
Well, I think what it represents to me is kind of a dead end, like because comic book movies and superheroes in general, like once you watch one and it's really good, you want more, right?
Yeah.
You can watch like a one-off movie like Inception and be like, I'm okay if they never make a sequel because this was fine.
Yep.
But I'm not like so attached because superheroes function as analogs of the audience, right? They're power fantasies. They're aspirational characters. So we map onto them. So when the movie's over, you're like, I want more with this. The journey has to continue.
That's totally fair. And especially superhero movies, we got so many origin movies. And when you only do a one-off movie, it's going to have to be an origin movie. And I'm sick of those.
I think that actually reminds me of something I really liked about this movie.
Tell me about it.
One of the things we criticized a lot of the Marvel movies for is cool origin story, villain kind of sucks, kind of tacked on. I didn't feel like that in this movie, and it's because the villain is completely integrated to the origin story.
100%.
Yeah.
The villain is the guy who trained you. That's awesome, and it totally worked. The only movie we get like even close to that, I think, is the first Spider-Man movie, where the villain is like his love interest's dad, so he's kind of there throughout.
Yeah, but it's not as neat. And
see, I didn't even like that character that much.
Willem Dafoe?
The Vulture. No, what are you talking about?
But he was better than like the Iron Man villain.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Willem Dafoe or
No. I was talking about the
Michael Keaton.
The Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Vulture.
Okay, well, Willem Dafoe is even more tightly integrated.
Yeah, I like that. He's a good villain, and
Yeah.
that's a good story. In terms
Talk about like born to play a role. Willem Dafoe was born to play the
Born
Green
with a
Goblin.
goblin face.
Absolutely. Oh man.
Maybe DC screwed up because they saw Marvel's success and they're like, wow, look at that. You can have these team up movies that are really awesome and they make a lot of money. So then they made all these like singular movies with the goal of teaming up. Whereas Marvel was like, well, let's see if we can make a superhero movie and make money.
Yeah.
And if that does well, we'll make another one.
Well,
and then we'll cross them over.
Yeah.
The second movie in the DCEU is a team-up movie. And that's the big part of the problem. The second movie is Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
And then they went and did like an era of single movies. And all the single movies, they're fine. Like they're
okay.
Yeah, they're like 5s and 6s. Like they're not, whatever. They are what they are.
Yeah.
But they pulled the ripcord way too fast. Batman v Superman should have been like 6-7 movies in.
Totally. The way that I see it, there were a few missteps here. A, they started a lot later than Marvel, so Marvel had a head start, and people were kind of like, okay, we're okay with this universe here. B, they didn't have like one like unifying vision. I know that Marvel didn't have that right from the get-go, but once they kind of got this momentum with these few movies, they were like, all right, we got to have a vision here.
And they started writing for the 5 movies down the road.
Do they have a Kevin Feige?
Well, they have Zack Snyder.
They had I think for a bit there, they were trying to have Jeff Johns be the guy who is like a prolific and well-respected DC Comics writer. And then I think the other thing was, bringing on people like Zack Snyder.
Well, he became like the cornerstone of the series somehow. And he made such bad movies.
He made like Sucker Punch.
Okay, hold on. Don't be so hard on Zack Snyder because, okay, first of all, his debut movie, as far as I'm concerned, 300, was like revolutionary. Aged poorly, victim of its own success, but 300 is sick.
100%. I loved 300.
Watchmen, I know David doesn't really like it, but
I like it.
I
like
loved
it.
Watchmen.
I think the thing that makes 300 and Watchmen and Zack Snyder's early movies good, though, is not the strength of their plots and characters and all that stuff. It is the visual spectacle.
It's just taking a comic book and making
those
it
are both
literally
adaptations as well.
Adapting a comic book so well to the big screen.
Because that's what Watchmen is. It's just frame by frame recreation of the comic in a movie.
But we didn't need
with
that.
a better ending.
I agree.
We didn't
because
need
the big squid monster would be weird.
Yeah, fair enough. We didn't need literally the comic on the theater, which is what we got on the theater screen. We needed a movie based on this universe.
Yeah.
Which is what Marvel did so well.
100%.
And Star Wars should have done.
Wow.
So they should have adapted the expanded universe.
I'm excited to talk about Batman or Dark Knight. DK. Donkey Kong.
I'm intimidated, man. I gotta study it.
Yeah, it's worthy of something. Spoilers.
I'm ready to find out if it's gonna be an 8.9 or 9.1.
Well, I think now that you've done a lot of screenwriting, like you've read a lot of screenwriting books, you'll have a different appreciation for some of the art in The Dark Knight.
Right.
Because they're very different movies, even though they gel really well together. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a great episode.
I like the parts where the things explode.
I like the masks.
The crazy fights.